You have it now? Okay.
That's weird.
You can just leave it unmuted.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Test, test. Let's see if.
There we go.
Yep. Let's make sure.
Put on audio. Smooth. Welcome in, everyone, to WCCU-SN's broadcast of Coastal Carolina baseball here on this Saturday afternoon. Today we have a matchup between the number 19th ranked in the country, Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, versus the Appalachian State Mountaineers. I'm Grant, joined alongside Ricky. Ricky, we should have an exciting matchup. Coastal, of course, coming off that victory on Friday night where they shut out App State. How can they look to do that again today?
They're going to look to do that with the tall, sophomore right-handed pitcher, Cam Fluke, on the bump. Now, looking at last year, 10 starts and 19 appearances, a 5.73 ERA. He struggled. What he struggled the most with was his command. Now, 83 strikeouts, a ton. That's about 13 per 9 last year, but 27 walks. Through more innings so far this year at 59, just 15 walks. He's gotten that command down. His fastball is going to sit 94, 95. He's got a big, looping, devastating curveball. He's going to try to get ahead of hitters today.
Absolutely. We'll see if Fluke can do that for the Chanticleers. Of course, Coastal playing some really good baseball this season. They are atop the Sun Belt standings, sitting at 18-4 in conference play. App State, on the other hand, an even 500 at 11-11. Coastal always been good at baseball, looking to capitalize on another big year after a disappointing regional exit last season. Coastal, really good players on this team. Young team as well. Got a few seniors, but overall Coastal has a very good baseball squad that they put together. Starting lineups for the teams. First for the visiting App State, leading off and playing second base, you have Joseph Zamora. Then second at first base, Cameron Miller. Third at shortstop, Tyler Lichtenberger. Fourth, batting cleanup, you have the center fielder, Tyler Figueroa. And fifth, the designated hitter, Jonathan Zareb. Sixth, the right fielder, Donovan Milquin. Seventh, the left fielder, Riley Luft. Eighth, the catcher, Tommy Walker. And finally, at ninth, the third baseman, Tanner McCammon. So we are just moments away from first pitch here. That brings up Joseph Zamora, batting .318 on the year, 54 hits, 2 home runs, and 32 RBIs. See if he can get things started for the Mountaineers here.
After an 11-1 run rule victory for the Chants, the Mountaineers shake up their lineup a little bit, moving their 2-hole hitter yesterday, Zamora, up to the leadoff spot.
His first pitch is in there for a strike on that inside corner. Nice fastball to start off the day for Fluke.
Zamora went 0 for 4 yesterday, 2 strikeouts. Fluke's going to look to do the same here.
Fluke fires. And that one is fouled back right towards us. It'll be an 0-2 count early here to Zamora.
That's going to be exactly what he needs to do today. Throw strikes, get ahead of hitters. That fastball's sitting at 96 to start the game. Just ride with that.
You expect a breaking ball to come here when you're this ahead in the count. See if he can shake it up early with that devastating curve. That one is in there. Check swing. He said he did go. That is a strikeout to start the game for Cameron Fluke. And one batter up, one batter down for the Mountaineers.
And something I've noticed with the first way through the order with these Coastal pitchers is they don't like to throw their breaking balls at all. They want to get ahead and use as little pitches as possible to keep these hitters guessing as they get through the second and third way through the order.
When he did talk about how Fluke's already pitched more innings this year than he did last year and 8 less appearances as well. So all of his outings have been quality outings, it seems.
Specifically, recently, his last start against JMU, 6 innings. Gave up 4 runs, but struck out 9 and got the win.
Fluke just threw his first ball of the game. It'll be a 1-0 count to the 2-hole hitter, Cameron Miller. That one looking high. Miller ahead early in the count, 2-0. Miller on the season batting .328 with 43 RBIs and 10 home runs. Definitely a power hitter for the Mountaineers. Miller, the righty, on the righty Fluke. Pitches in and fires. Check swing. He did not go. 3-0 count now for Miller.
Got a hot and humid one today. Springsbrook Stadium at 81 degrees right now. Small chance of rain. It was a little spitty this morning.
It was, but should be good now. They got some blue skies in there. 3-0 pitch now. Right down the middle, strike one. Good pitch there from Fluke. Of course, Coastal will be back here tomorrow at Springsbrook Stadium at 1 o'clock for the series finale against Mountaineers. Looking to clinch the series with a victory here today. Fluke, 3-1. And that one will be outside and high. A walk for Cameron Miller puts one aboard for the Mountaineers here in the first.
Coastal comes into this one on a 5-game win streak, and they are 18-3 here at home.
Definitely some home dogs, the Chanticleers are. The Coastal right now projected to be hosting a regional after conference tournament play is done, as they've done the past 2 years, I believe. As I said, ranked number 19 in the nation. First pitch here to Tyler Lichenberger is low for ball one. Lichenberger on the year, an astonishing 364 average with 32 RBIs and 2 home runs.
Played in 44 games already this year.
Pickoff back to Miller. That gets a little bit away from first baseman Thorndike over there, but he is able to recover it. No damage done there.
And Lichenberger's third on the team with a 937 OPS. He is hitting the cover off the ball.
937 is very, very good. Miller leads at first. 1-0 count here to Lichenberger. Fluky fires. That ball outside, ball 2. After retiring Joseph Zamora in 3 straight strikes, Fluky struggling to find the strike zone here with Miller and Lichenberger.
Now his catcher is going to go give him a piece of his mind.
Caden Bodine, of course, one of the leaders of this team. Been a starter for a lot of his career here at Coastal, looking to further his baseball in the MLB, of course, when he is done here at Coastal. But he has been a phenomenal player for the Chanticleers, and his leadership is on display every single game.
Yeah, he came into this year being projected in the top 10 of the MLB draft, currently sitting on MLB.com's ranking of draft prospects at 37, so just outside the first round.
Still a second-round MLB draft appearance for Chanticleer. That'd be amazing. 2-0 pitch now to Lichenberger. Fluky aims, fires, and that one is going to be fouled out of play on the left side. 2-1 count now to Lichenberger. Lichenberger playing shortstop today for the Mountaineers, as he did yesterday. Miller leads at first. Fluky's pitch fire, and that one will be inside. 3-1 count now to Lichenberger. Now, if you're Cam Fluky, you'd hate to walk 2 guys in the first inning.
Yeah, and your game plan has to be to get ahead of these hitters. They put up 1 run yesterday on, I think it was only 4 hits. You can't let these guys get extra chances without earning it.
3-1 pitch now. That one is going to be fouled back. We got a full count now to Tyler Lichenberger. Now Fluky can fight back from this hitter's count and retire Lichenberger. That'd be big for him. So bring up 2 outs and the Mountaineers cleanup hitter, Tyler Figueroa. Fluky, payoff pitch. Strike 3, got him swinging. Cameron Fluky retires Tyler Lichenberger for the second out of the inning and his second strikeout of the game.
Yeah, these Mountaineers struck out 8 times yesterday in 8 innings. Already 2 Ks in the first. Brings up the center fielder, played left field yesterday. Tyler Figueroa hitting .285 on the season.
What did you like from that strikeout pitch right there from Fluky that really got Lichenberger chasing?
He has so much ride on his fastball. He gets so much induced vertical break IVB. It makes it seem like it's rising on you. And, man, it's hard to hit. And you want it. It's a fastball right in your wheelhouse. That's what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Of
course, Fluky,
the ladder.
Very good at both a 4-seam and a 2-seam fastball. This Figueroa's second pitch after the 1-0 start will be fouled out to the right side. Got an even count now, 1-1 to the cleanup hitter. Figueroa is sophomore out of Colony, New York. Went to Siena as his last school. Second pitch, breaking ball inside there, 2-1 count now to Figueroa.
Mid-majors D1 put a spotlight on Fluky earlier this week, as that is a devastating curveball swung and a miss for strike 2. A potential first rounder, and he's going to be a future big leaguer is what they put
And you can see that command and that speed on display for Fluky. Got a 2-2 count now, 2 outs. Fluky to Figueroa, runner on first. Miller leads. Here's the pitch, and that one is grounded up the middle, fielded and thrown over there to retire the side. A beautiful backhand snag by Blake Barthel, throwing it over to Thorndike for the 3rd out of the top half of the 1st inning. Minimal damage done for the Mountaineers. 1 runner left on base after a walk. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the 1st inning. You guys are watching Coastal Carolina Baseball on WCCU SN. Welcome back here to WCCU SN's broadcast of Coastal Carolina Baseball. We're in the bottom half of the 1st inning where the Chanticleers leadoff hitter Ty Dooley will be kicking things off for the Chanticleers.
And he will be doing it against the 6'2" redshirt junior Liam Best on the bump for the Mountaineers. Comes into this one. This is his 5th start of the season. Somewhat of an opener. He also has 2 saves, normally a reliever.
This is the pitch, misses high. 1-0 count now to Dooley.
Comes into this one with a 4.03 ERA, allowing a 2.46 batting average.
Dooley, of course, a senior for the Chanticleers. He's another leader, as we mentioned with Caden Bodine earlier. Second pitch, misses a little bit low. 2-0 count now to Dooley. Dooley from Elgin, South Carolina, went to Radford High School. Or excuse me, he went to Radford before Coastal, and then he came here. Dooley, of course, the leadoff batter, as he has been for most of the year, and a very good leadoff batter at that. He's 2nd on the team in average, coming in at .323, hitting 32 RBIs and 5 home runs on the year.
There's a little bit of inconsistency at the shortstop position last year. Dooley was in the mix, along with Ty Barango, a couple other names. Really made a name for himself at the end of that last year.
As Dooley chases on that pitch, nice fastball there on the outside corner. Will be an even count 2-2 now, as the last pitch was a strike as well. Mountaineers playing the shift on Dooley. They got everyone moved over to the right side of the infield. Third baseman McCammon playing where the shortstop Lichenberger would normally play, and Lichenberger on the other side of second base. 2-2 pitch, misses outside. We got a full count now early to Ty Dooley.
That's a good pitch. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball just leaked a little bit away.
Also looking to get a base runner on early. See if they can do some damage here in the bottom of the 1st. Payoff pitch from Best. Misses low, and that is a leadoff walk for Ty Dooley.
Man, I love base runners. Ugh. We're so good at it, too.
We are. We are. Very good.
One of the most patient offenses I've seen in college baseball, these Chants.
It's great plate discipline on display here.
They're not going to really hit the cover off the ball, but they will small ball you to death. And they have so many different players with home runs this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with more than 3. 3 with 3.
And Caden Bodine is one of those, Bodine, is one of those with 3 home runs. He's leading the team in average at 325, 31 RBIs to pair alongside those 3 home runs. And he comes in at the 2-hole here for the Chanticleers. Of course, the catcher for Coastal. Following him at LBB, third baseman Walker Mitchell and left fielder Sebastian Alexander. Dooley leads at first. 1-0 pitch here to Bodine. As a beautiful breaking ball across the plate in for a strike. 1-1 count now.
Bodine had a big game yesterday, went 3 for 5. Came around to score in the bottom half of the 8th to ice the game.
1-1 pitch now to Bodine. That one will miss high. 2-1 count now. The plate discipline that the Chanticleers display, that has to be, of course, thanks to the coaching staff. Of course, Kevin Schnall, his first season, he's done a great job. He's the winningest first-year head coach in Coastal history. Of course, the great Gary Gilmore retired after last year after leading the Chanticleers to a 2016 World Series win. As Bodine grounds one up the middle, that'll be a tough play there. And Bodine beats it out, safe at first. Wonderful hustle there from Bodine. Beats the throw from shortstop Lichtenberger. And the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers have 2 aboard here with no outs. And that will be ruled a hit for Bodine.
Almost a great play made there by the shortstop Lichtenberger. He was about 5 feet to our right of the second base bag. It was chopped over to where he would actually be playing without the shift. And backhands it, jump throw, Jeter-esque, just not in time.
Knew that'd be a tough play as soon as it left the bat of Bodine. And it worked out very well as that's an infield single for Caden. Brings up third baseman number 5, Walker Mitchell. Mitchell squares to bunt, pulls back. Pitch gets away, but no damage as is done as the catcher Walker blocks that one up.
And basically the same exact start as yesterday. Ty Dooley and Caden Bodine making it on base, and then Mitchell dropping a bunt. Now, yesterday he dropped the bunt down the third base line, and they threw it away, allowing that runner Dooley to score.
Walker Mitchell, a sophomore from Lexington, South Carolina. As that one looks like it hits him on the hand, but that will be right off the bat. You know, when you get jammed up there right by that handle, that can sting really good. Walker Mitchell actually went to the same high school I did, River Bluff. Played on the JV team as I played on varsity. And when I left, he moved on up. So it's cool to see those homegrown connections here at Coastal. Always rooting for Walker to do good.
And man, he is hitting 300 this year, replacing the Shant draftee Sam Antonacci.
1-1 count now to Mitchell. Mitchell squares again, pulls back as that one's high. 2-1.
Best probably going to pitch 2 to 3 innings if he keeps that pitch count low. But he's sitting 96 right now. Haven't really seen the breaking ball.
Dooley at second. Bodine at first. Mitchell at the plate. Lays down a bunt right back to pitcher Best. Best decides to go to first. So that's his only option. He drops the ball, though. First baseman Miller drops the ball. And that's going to be an E3 on the Mountaineers, loading the bases up for Coastal Carolina.
Wow. Just a simple play. The throw from Best was on time. It was accurate. The first baseman was the DH yesterday. Dropped that ball.
As here comes our cleanup hitter, Sebastian Alexander, number 1, the redshirt senior out of Mayfield, Ohio. He's going to look to do some damage here in the bottom half of the first inning. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Great chance to do it.
Infield, the corners are in for the Mountaineers. Third baseman McCammon and first baseman Miller playing just outside of the grass, allowing the 3 base runners for the Chanticleers to lead off as much as they want to.
This is exactly who Kevin Schnall wants at the dish. Leads the team with 40 RBI.
And that one is off the end of the bat there. Play at home, not, oh, it is in time. Excuse me, force out. That one will be in time, it looks like.
Was that not interference? Schnall's going to come out to talk to the home plate umpire. It's going to be Jack Furlong.
We'll see what happens there. Check swing right off the handle of the bat there from Alexander. Grounder right back to the pitcher, and Best threw it to Walker for the force out at home. We'll see what Schnall is saying to the umpire here.
Yeah, as he swung and then started his run to first after realizing that he hit it, the catcher, the third catcher in the last 2 days for the Mountaineers actually, Tommy Walker, went out to field the ball, or rather step on the bag to play basically first base. And Alexander ran right into him.
And that is going to be a fielder's choice out from Best to Walker there. Blake Barthol steps into the plate now. Second baseman for the Chanticleers. First pitch is in for a strike. Barthol, along with Alexander, has 8 home runs on the year, 34 RBIs, batting .258. Bases are still juiced for the Chanticleers. See if they can do some damage here. Second pitch a bit high there. 1-1 count now to Barthol.
Still a great run scoring opportunity for the Beach Chickens.
If you're Alexander on that last play, that's just a little unfortunate. It took you a little bit to realize you hit the ball. Check swing, just unlucky there if you're Sebastian. 1-1 pitch, down low. 2-1 now to Barthol.
There's that off speed from Best. And it's hard. It's hard to check a swing on a pitch that's 96 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. You saw earlier on a fastball to Mitchell, he got a little bit jammed up trying to bunt. Can't feel good if you're these Chanticleer hitters. 3-1 now to the lefty as that one misses inside.
Tried to go to the breaking ball again, has missed back-to-back times. Now in danger of walking in a run, down 3-1.
And if you're Liam Best, that's one of the worst things you can do as a pitcher. 3-1 pitch now to Barthol. Inside and called a strike. Good pitch there. Jammed him up. Not much you can do when you get a pitch that good in the strike zone.
Pretty good frame job from the catcher, Tommy Walker, behind the plate.
Now got a full count to Blake. Best readies. Aims, fires. Payoff pitch. Fouled away right on the backside here. Barthol stays alive.
And sooner or later, these coastal hitters are going to have to catch up to that high-velocity fastball.
Notice a lot of them are loading back in the back of the box, trying to give themselves a little bit more reaction time. Barthol, in fact, his foot on the back white line. 3-2 pitch again. Swing and let's go of the bat. Strikeout there by Blake Barthol. But he lost his bat. Went right into the net over there on the first base side, right by the dugout. And now what looked like a golden opportunity for the Chanticleers. Bases loaded, no outs. It's turned into bases loaded, 2 outs with no runs scored.
And man, it would be special out of Liam Best to get out of this one unscathed.
Tazi steps in now, designated hitter for the Chanticleers, 274 on the year, 6 home runs. First pitch offering, low and outside, ball 1.
True freshman out of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. DHing, and Kevin Schnall said he has the potential to be the next great coastal catcher, among names like Derek Bender and Caden Bodine.
Second pitch to Tazi. Great frame job again by Walker. That'll bring up a 1-1 count now. That one looked like it was outside just a little bit, but Walker able to pull that one back in for a strike. 1-1 pitch to Tazi. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there from Best. Gets Tazi chasing. Now the Chanticleers are down to their last strike of the inning.
Yeah, started that slider on the outside part of the plate, just kept tailing away from Tazi. Looked too much like that fastball. It just ducks away from him.
1-2 pitch to Tazi. Check swing. Did not look like he went, and first base umpire says no. And that'll be 2-2 to Tazi. Three runners on, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tazi up at the plate, pitches in and swing and a miss from Tazi. And that will retire the Chanticleer side.
What a way to
So
get
after
out
a
that inning.
disastrous start from Liam Best and the Mountaineers, coming back and retiring 3 straight people for 3 straight outs, 2 strikeouts, and a forced play at home, leaves Coastal scoreless here in the first inning. 0-0 going into the top half of the second inning. You guys are watching and listening to Coastal Carolina baseball here on WCCU Sports Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to WCCUSN's broadcast of Coastal Carolina baseball. Got a 0-0 contest here going into the top half of the second inning. 5-hole hitter Jonathan Zareb steps in for the Mountaineers.
And apparently he's pitched 0 innings this year.
As he skies one out to right center field. Drifting over and catching it is Pato to retire Zareb on the first pitch.
Quick outs, that's what Fluky's going to need. Already 20 pitches in that first inning. Gonna need to settle down and get more quick outs just like that.
We talked about how Fluky needs to get ahead in the count, but also if he can get batters to chase at those early balls and get one in play for his fielders to make a play on it, that'd be ideal as well. In comes Dylan Moquin, right fielder for the Mountaineers. First pitch to him. He fouls one straight over to the side, over by the turf, and that'll be a lucky souvenir for a red-headed boy over there. Moquin on the year batting .256, 1 home run, 17 RBIs.
This is a very young Mountaineer lineup, just 2 juniors or seniors. Everyone else is a sophomore. And this is a freshman, Dylan Moquin. Didn't play yesterday, getting the start today and right.
Redshirt freshman out of Coral Springs, Florida. Went to Stoneman Douglas High School. Second pitch to him will miss. At a 1-1 count now to Moquin. Fluky fires. That one will miss outside there. Coastal, of course, having a great opportunity in that bottom half of the first inning. Not being able to capitalize. As Fluky fires to Moquin. That one misses high and inside. 3-1 count now to Dylan.
That high school produced a couple major league players, namely Anthony Rizzo.
Anthony Rizzo, wow.
303 career home runs out of that guy, and newly promoted Kobe Mayo of the Baltimore Orioles.
3-1 pitch, fouled back and away. Full count now it will be to Moquin. Rizzo, of course, as a Cubs fan, love him very much. Part of that 2016 Cubs World Series run, first time in 108 years. And boy, what an honor it was to see that happen.
And man, that's my favorite call of all time. This is going to be a tough play. Brian, Cubs win the World Series.
Chills, especially after that weather delay, extra innings in Cleveland, Game 7.
Michael Martinez, the last out.
Payoff pitch, fouls another one back. Moquin doing a good job staying in this count and battling here against Fluky.
I always hated that it was such a good series, such great baseball being played, and then the last out comes down to some random bench guy named Michael Martinez.
It is, and the Cubs, of course, came back down 3-1 in that series. And boy, as it comes in, I was just emotional. My whole family was. Payoff pitch now to Moquin. In there, strike three. Got him looking. Fluky with a devastating fastball right down the middle, and he froze up Moquin for the second out of the inning.
And I think that's been our favorite word so far today, devastating. Hit it a couple times, and that one definitely was.
Moquin just froze up there, not really sure what to do. That 95-mile-per-hour heater right down the pipe.
Already the third strikeout today for Fluky. His 66th on the season to just 16 walks.
There is a ground ball over there to Mitchell. Fire over to Thorndike for the third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Mountaineers. We're going right into the bottom half of the second inning. You guys are watching, listening to Coastal Carolina Baseball here on WCCU SN. Bottom half of the second inning here at WCCU-SN. 0-0 ball game. Bladen Pato in here, 7-0 hitter for the Chanticleers, looking to make something go here in the bottom half. Lays a bunt, pulls back, ball 1 outside there to Pato. Pato on the season batting 175, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs.
4 of those RBI came yesterday on a grand slam in the bottom of the third inning. Hit it out of Springsbrook Stadium entirely. Carried the Coastal bullpen and, what do they call it? The City of Conway Boardwalk.
Well, there you go. Of course, Coastal was looking to hit a grand slam in the last inning after getting bases loaded with nobody out, but they did not score a run. It's 2-0 pitch that is in there. Fastball good for a strike. 2-1 now to Pato.
And if Coastal's looking back at this one, after struggling offensively, they're going to look at that first inning not being able to capitalize.
100%. It's Pato fouls one back and away. 2-2 count now. Pato, a sophomore out of Haymarket, Virginia, went to Longwood before transferring to Coastal this year. 5'10", 185.
Sporadic playing time this year, getting the start today and right. Dean Mijos must have a little bit of an ailment because he's playing and swings and misses at the curveball in the dirt for out number 1.
That is best third strikeout of the game. 2 in the first inning, 1 now to Pato. So that'll bring up Colby Thorndike, first baseman, number 16 out of Lumberton, North Carolina. Redshirt sophomore transfer from Brunswick Community College.
Coastal has seen a lot of success out of their JUCO transfers, namely Graham Brown and Sam Antonacci last year. Thorndike hitting .285. I'd say they would call that a success.
Of course, yesterday he went 4 for 4 with an RBI in the 11-1 victory. He's now ahead in the count 1-0 against Liam Best. Righty-lefty matchup. Best fires. That one is in there for a strike. Similar pitch to the last one. A little more across the plate that time.
Already 32 pitches in this one for Liam Best. Now, they weren't expecting him to go very long, but already an elevated pitch count.
2-1 count now to Thorndike. Beautiful turnout here at Springbrook Stadium today. Of course, not as packed as last night. A little bit of rain, we said today. But fans are out supporting their Chanticleers. That one is in there, strike 2 to Thorndike.
And man, it's a hot one. Maybe not hot, but it's a humid one.
It is very humid. Of course, that's the thing with that Conway weather. If it rains, they'll let you know it in summertime. 2-2 now, Thorndike pops one. See if the catcher Walker can make a play on it. And that he can. Pop out to the catcher for Colby Thorndike for out number 2.
Brings up the right-handed hitting center fielder, Wells Sykes.
Batting 9th in this order for the Chanticleers. From Gilbert, South Carolina, just a few minutes down the road from Lexington. Played against Wells Sykes, actually, in some baseball contests for high school. As River Bluff, my high school, and Gilbert were big rivals.
Did y'all beat them?
We did.
Good.
His first pitch in there to Sykes. A little bit outside, but called strike 1. Sykes went to the Citadel before transferring here to Coastal. Hitting .281 on the year, 3 home runs, 20 ribbies. Second pitch to Sykes. He swings and misses. There's that slider again, looking like it coming across the plate, breaking to the outside. Sykes is now behind 0-2 to Liam Best. Two pitch now, Sykes. Swings and misses. Play will be made at first base there. Easy retire. 1-2-3 for the Chanticleers. Nothing going, bottom half of the second inning for Coastal. We're right back with third inning action here on WCCU SN. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to our broadcast of Coastal Carolina baseball. Top half of the third inning. Catcher Tommy Walker steps in for the Mountaineers, who are hitless so far. Cameron Fluky doing a good job setting down these Mountaineer batters so far after giving up a walk early in the first inning.
Walker just 1 hit on the season, 1 for 4.
First pitch to him is a strike. That 1 hit ended up getting 2 RBIs, though.
That's pretty impressive. To only have 1 hit on the season, but more RBI.
Must have been an extra base hit. Second pitch now. That one is out there. Base hit down the
Extra
right
base
field
hit.
line, and that'll be an automatic double for Tommy Walker as that one bounces up there to the turf. The Mountaineers have one aboard after a ripper down the line for Walker for his second hit of the year.
Move that batting average up about 150 points. Nice piece of hit and just poked it down that right field line. Bounced into the berm.
That'll bring up 9-hole hitter, third baseman Tanner McCammon. McCammon on the year batting .214, 5 RBIs.
It's the first hit allowed by Fluky today. Now in the top of the third.
As Fluky looks him back, fires one over to second baseman Barthol. Just making sure to keep Walker honest over there at second. Hitter McCammon, he is a sophomore out of Matthews, North Carolina. Went to Elon before spending his second year now at App State. First pitch to him, in there for a strike. Fastball outside corner from Fluky.
McCammon, his 13th start of the season.
0-1 pitch now from Fluky. That one gets away from Bodine, moving Tommy Walker over to third base. Now the Mountaineers are really in business. Runner on third, nobody out. That's a wild pitch from Fluky.
And we'll see if Fluky can strand him like Liam Best did in the first inning.
Even 1-1 count now to McCammon.
Expecting a heavy dose of fastballs now. And there's a
That one
curveball.
jams him up. Inside there, he fouls it away third base side.
Shows him the curveball for strike two. He was out in front of it. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, I expect to see a fastball here.
We'll see what Fluky comes with. 1-2 pitch now. In there. Fastball did not go around. And some of these fans here at Springsbrooks do not agree with that one.
Yeah, Fluky just pulled that one out, or away.
It's going to be 2-2 count now to Tanner McCammon.
I think if he starts that a little bit more in the zone, he gets a full swing.
There you go. One right back up the middle, and Barthol runs over and makes the catch on the fly for out number one. A hard hit ball, but unfortunately straight into the hole where Blake Barthol was. If McCammon hit that one just a little bit over to the right side, he would have been aboard, and a run would have scored for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, that one was hit hard directly at Barthol. That will flip the order over back to the leadoff hitter, Joseph Zamora, switch hitter. 32 RBI on the season, and he's going to look to bring in this runner from third, and now we will have a huddle among both the hitter at the plate, the hitter on deck, the hitter in the hole, the runner on third, and both base coaches. I've never seen this.
I'd like to think that a hit or run or some kind of situation is going to come here for the Mountaineers.
Some sort
They're
of
getting everyone involved.
like suicide squeeze, possibly.
Of course, Zamora batting in that leadoff hole, you have to have some speed in that one hole.
And now they will disperse. The switch hitter batting lefty against the right-hander Fluky will step in now.
Zamora struck out in the first inning. Struck out swinging. One out here in the top half of the third for the Mountaineers. Runner on third. First pitch is Zamora inside there. Strike one.
Kind of closed himself off there. He swung kind of short-armed, like he was fighting it off. Two strike, trying to foul it off.
Zamora crowding the plate here. Second pitch in there. And that's a base hit down the line again, just like that double from Walker, and that'll score a run. And Joseph Zamora with a single right between the 3-4 hole to get a run on the board for the Mountaineers.
And you know what? It looked a little like a golf swing, like he was trying to draw it, and it worked perfectly. It was hit hard, just skipped once on the infield dirt and out. Hit it too hard to get a double out of that one. It hit the little off-jetting and right. Right fielder Pato gets it in time, but that will be the first run of this ball game.
Mountaineers strike first here in top half of the third inning. A little bit of a mound visit here, talk things over with Fluky.
And this is where he's going to have to settle down a little bit. You already gave up the 1 run, but you can't let that spiral.
Fluky already thrown 38 pitches here with only 1 out in the 3rd inning. That brings up Cameron Miller. Miller walked in the first, but was stranded at first base. Fluky delivers to Miller. That one outside, ball 1. Check swing did not go around. 1-0 count after that miss from the fastball.
Cameron Miller, 10 home runs on the season. 2nd on the team.
One 0 pitch now to Miller. Ground ball, 3rd base side, out of play into the Chanticleer dugout. Coastal and App State both have no one getting stretched up in those bullpens, which is a bit surprising for the Mountaineers. We expected Liam Best to maybe go 2, 3, 4 innings. So we'll see if they get someone up soon. Pickoff attempt over at first base, nothing happening. Some more back there easily.
Best. If he's still going to deal, he's only given up the 1 hit. If he's going to pitch well, they're going to let him go. He pitched about 65 pitches his last time out, so I'm expecting that to be the upper limit.
Breaking ball, beautiful, right across the plate. Froze Miller up there. Now be a 1-2 count to number 34.
And now Fluky's going to have to get him out. He's gotten ahead of a lot of hitters, just been unable to put some of them away.
1-2 count, 1 out, runner on first. Fluky delivers, and that one swing and a miss. Went back to that same breaking ball. Froze Miller up again for the 2nd out of the inning.
And that's Fluky's 4th strikeout of the game through 2 2/3 now. And man, that was disgusting. Starts the curveball, the top of the zone, thinks it's the fastball, and it just drops down to the dirt. Now the .361 hitting shortstop Tyler Lichtenberger. God, that's a hard one.
Lichtenberger in the first struck out. Of course, 2nd out of the inning after Joseph Zamora did the same thing. Both were swinging. 2 outs for the Mountaineers. Zamora leads off first. Pickoff attempt, nothing happening again. Zamora's back easily. Fluky readies, aims, fires. Breaking ball just a bit high there. Tried to go back to that curve that throws Cameron Miller up twice as the previous batter. But that one to Lichtenberger was a bit high.
Lichtenberger, the true freshman out of Boca Raton.
Love Boca Raton, beautiful. It's 2-0 pitch there, skied away. Left side, Mitchell giving it a chase, and that is just out of play as Mitchell is just a bit too slow to get over to that one. And Lichtenberger with a lucky break after that ball was skied high into the air.
As a senior, he hit .340 at West Boca Raton High School. On the mound, he was 4-0 and didn't allow a run in 9 1/3 inning. Maybe he'll come in later.
Look at that. Versatile player that the Mountaineers have. He's facing a 2-1 count, 2 outs, 1 run scored in this inning. Here's a pitch from Fluky. That one is swung up and lined out to center field. That should be no problem for Sykes as that retires the side for the Mountaineers. But all that not before a run came aboard after a double and a single from Tommy Walker and Joseph Zamora. Mountaineers lead 1-0 as we go into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Stay with us. You're watching Coastal Carolina Baseball on WCCU SN. Welcome back here to Coastal Carolina Baseball on WCCU-SM. We got a 1-0 ball game in favor of Appalachian State. And for the bottom half of the third inning, we have our shortstop lead-off hitter, Ty Dooley, coming in. Dooley, of course, reached by a walk and was thrown out at home on a forced play. First pitch to him in there for a strike. Sebastian Alexander hit one off the end of his bat. Little dribbler back to pitcher best. Retired Dooley on the force at home.
And this is where this Sean offense needs to get going. Second way through the order now with your leadoff man up. As must have gotten crossed up there as it gets behind the catcher for ball one. Dooley, something interesting happened yesterday where the leadoff hitter actually ended up leading off 3 different innings, and this is the second time today that Dooley is leading off an inning.
How about that? We'll see if he can make it 4 this game. Of course, Coastal's got to get that offense going if they want that to happen. Coastal only 1 hit, sole hit coming off a infield single from Bodine in the first. 1-1 pitch to Dooley inside, ball 2. That's the first inning was Dooley's 21st walk of the year. Really displaying that plate discipline that the Chanticleers have.
And that first way through the order, I don't think the Chants elevated a ball in fair play once.
I don't think they did either.
That's going to have to change if this offense is going to get going. That was strike 2. 2-2 now to Ty Dooley.
Of course, the lone hit came from Caden Bodine. There was an error that got Walker Mitchell on base, and a fielder's choice from Alexander, and 2 straight strikeouts. And that is a strikeout looking for Ty Dooley. Slider right across the plate froze him up, and Dooley is retired.
And already 5 strikeouts for Liam Best through just 7 outs. He could break the record at this rate.
He could.
What is the college baseball record?
I have no idea. It's got to be 20-something, you'd think. It's Bodine, the lone Chanticleer with a hit, comes into the plate now. Lefty batting .329 on the year. First pitch to him. First pitch swinging. First pitch driving. Chases it back and caught on the warning track by Luft there. That was a nice hit from Bodine. Just had to get it down just a little bit.
And there's an elevated ball off the bat of Bodine. Almost reached the warning track and left. The left fielder, Luft, struggled with that one. Possibly lost it in the clouds, but ultimately found it. Now the record for most strikeouts in a single game, 26.
Wow.
Buddy Schultz out of Miami of Ohio in 1971 has not been broken.
26 of your 27 batters were strikeouts. That's insane.
That is crazy.
So Walker Mitchell steps in now. Mitchell, of course, reached by an error after laying down a bunt in the first. Now faces an 1-0 count, after that ball missed a bit outside. Righty-righty matchup. Second pitch into Mitchell. Second pitch strike. Fastball right on that plate corner. Walker did not swing. 1-1 now to Walker.
ECU's Ethan Norby.
There's another fly ball out to center field from Mitchell. That'll be caught easily, retiring the side for the Chanticleers.
Norby struck out 19 last year, setting a Sun Belt record.
Well, 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the third. Mountaineers still lead 1-0 as we go into the top half of the fourth inning. Don't go anywhere. You guys are watching Coastal Carolina Baseball on WCCU-SM. Welcome back here to our broadcast of Coastal Carolina baseball here on WCCU-SN. 1-0. Coastal faces a deficit to the Appalachian State Mountaineers as they go into the top half of the fourth inning. And the four-hole hitter, Tyler Figueroa. First pitch to him. Breaking ball inside corner, called for a strike. Figueroa grounded out to Blake Barthol, second baseman, for the third out of the first inning.
Went 0 for 3 yesterday, did Figueroa, including a double play as he swings through that curveball in the dirt. Strike 2.
And Fluky ahead in the count early here. Fluky up to 46 pitches in this fourth inning. One earned run coming last inning off of a double and a single Mountaineers had. He winds and deals from the windup. That is a ground ball out of play over their third base side.
And that arm is not getting any rest. Couple quick innings from the Coastal offense.
3 up, 3 down in the last 2 innings. After a pretty good start, but nothing happening in the first inning. It's the pitch, and that is strike 3 there. Strikeout from Cameron Fluky. His fifth of the game, excuse me. And he sits down Tyler Figueroa, no problem.
And no matter how his start goes, he will rack up the strikeouts. Possibly the most consistent thing anyone on this team does.
That brings in designated hitter Jonathan Zareb. Zareb in the second, flew out to the right field. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1. Zareb, we found out in his last at-bat that he went to the same high school that Anthony Rizzo graduated from. Second pitch to him, in there for a strike. 1-1 count now to Jonathan.
His stats just aren't on the website. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm blind.
Listed as infielder / right-hand pitcher.
And also out of Boca Raton.
There you go. Strike 2 now. Inside pitch. Beautiful breaking ball from Fluky. So that's a 1-2 count now to Zareb.
Yeah, last year, the redshirt sophomore just played 3 games with 1 start. Drove in a run in that lone start, though.
Fluky winds, deals, 1-2 count. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Mitchell coming over to play it, and that's just right off the tip of his glove. And that'll allow Jonathan Zareb to reach first. I think even if Mitchell were to make that play, it would have been a tough out. That's just a little chopper up the middle. Not much you can do about that there.
Yeah, you have to be aggressive there. You have to charge that ball. There's no way you get the out otherwise. The shortstop, Dooley, is in no position to make that play. So goes all out and just can't field it. Good job of Bodine to be backing up that ball, or else it would have rolled directly into that App State dugout.
And we'll see what the scoring decision is there, and it will be an E5 on Walker Mitchell. As Moquin tries to lay down a bunt, but that one fouls off his bat.
I don't love that score there. I feel like assuming an out on that play is a bit of a stretch.
I agree with that. That is the first error for the Chanticleers. As we said, we don't think Mitchell was going to have a play if he were to field that cleanly.
Would have been a tremendous play.
As Zareb showing off some wheels to get to first base. Moquin now facing an 0-1 count. Second pitch to him inside, ball 1. Moquin stepping out of the box, getting some signs from head coach Kermit Smith over there in the Appalachian State dugout. See if they expect him to lay down a bunt. Moquin in the first, struck out looking. That's a breaking ball right across the plate. Strike 2. And Moquin was Fluky's second strikeout of the game in the second inning. Since then, he's racked up 3 more.
Moquin won a national championship at Stoneman Douglas.
Oh, look at that. And check swing there. Ball gets away. It's a live ball. Second base throw. Safe there is Zareb. So Moquin goes down swinging, but the ball gets away from Bodine, allowing Moquin to advance to second. So that's Moquin's second strikeout of the game and Faluki's sixth strikeout of the game.
Brings up the right-handed hitting left fielder today, Riley Luft. Grounded out to third his first time up.
Mountaineers do have Zareb in scoring position. Luft 19 RBIs on the year, looking to make it 20. Open stance right-hand hitter. First pitch to him is a strike. Faluki from the stretch now.
Luft is listed as a utility player.
So he fouls out one first base side, a hard hit ball, foul. 0-2 now count to Luft.
Came out of high school as a third baseman. Played right field yesterday, playing left today. Man, I love Mia. Also out of Boca Raton.
Went to the same high school as Jonathan Zareb did. Zareb, of course, 1 year older as a redshirt sophomore. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball from Cameron Flukie, retires Luft for the third out of the inning. All three outs in that top half of the fourth coming via strikeout from Cameron Flukie. Will go into the bottom half now as Coastal trails 1-0 here on WCCUSN. Welcome back here to our broadcast of Coastal Carolina baseball here on WCCU-SN. 1-0 deficit, the Chanticleers face as a cleanup hitter, left fielder Sebastian Alexander steps into the box. Alexander, of course, with an unfortunate force out in the first inning. Little dribbler back up to the pitcher off the end of his bat.
If he hits it any other way, that scores a run.
100%.
Coastal scoreless so far.
Alexander, 6'1" righty-righty out of Mayfield, Ohio. Went to Kent State last year before coming to Coastal. First pitch to him, down the line, fair ball, base hit. Sebastian Alexander rounds first, and he is digging for second. He will get there no problem. A leadoff stand-up double for Sebastian Alexander, and Coastal's second hit of the ball game.
Yeah, and that left fielder, Riley Luft, he might have had a chance to throw him out at second if he fields that ball cleanly, but it looks like he takes his eye off the ball as he's picking it up. Can't pick it up cleanly. And
yeah, you saw Sebastian think about it a little bit, rounding first, stopped a little bit, but he elected to go as Luft had a little bit of trouble. That brings up second baseman Blake Barthel.
I got a little worried when he started considering if he was going to go. I had already written double in my book.
I did too. Barthel struck out in the first inning. See if he can do something now that Alexander is aboard on second. The shortstop, Lichtenbacher, shifted over to the other side of second base after holding Alexander on. Barthel lays down a bunt attempt, but that one rolls foul, third base side.
I like the game plan to small ball. Try to manufacture some runs, get that runner over the third, and then capitalize.
Barthol, of course, can be a power hitter if he needs to be. 8 home runs on the year.
Hit 8 home runs in a 5-game span at one point last year.
So he goes to lay down another bunt, and that one will miss. Ball 1 as Barthol pulls back. And now we've seen this Mountaineer defense put on the shift for a good amount of Coastal batters. Of course, this one a bit different as Lichtenbacher kind of keeps Alexander honest, then backs off, kind of right behind second base. Barthol goes to bunt again. That one popped up right up into the net. 1-2 count now to Blake. And we'll think that that'll be the end of him bunting. So of course, if you bunt with 2 strikes and it goes foul, that is an out.
Next pitch will be the 53rd of Liam Best's day. There is a right-hander now throwing in the App State bullpen. High socks and stirrups on that guy. I hope he comes in.
1-2 pitch now to Barthol. He skies one up and out of play, third base side. Staying alive there is Blake.
And Barthol's going to try to poke something down into that hole. 90-foot gap between the shortstop and third baseman.
We'll see. When you want to put something in a certain position as a left-hand hitter, you really got to kind of wait for it to come into that box before swinging. So you can hit oppo there. 1-2 pitch now from Best. High, and that gets away from the catcher Walker, allowing Alexander to advance to third. And that, of course, a ball as Blake faces a 2-2 count. Walker had a lot of trouble trying to find that ball, didn't he?
Looked like it got blocked by the home plate umpire Furlong, but I don't really think he had a chance to get him at third anyway.
No. That was a high pitch, just hit right off the end of the glove of Walker there.
And you'll see that happen a lot with these high-velocity, high IVB guys.
Pitch to Barthol, high again. It'll now be a full count pitch to Blake.
That one was the breaking ball, just popped right out of his hand a little bit too early.
That infield still shifted over to the right side. This time now they are right on the grass. As before Alexander advanced to third, they were backed up quite a bit. Payoff pitch to Barthol. Fouled back and away. Staying alive is Blake.
Runner at third. That righty is now throwing off the mound in the bullpen. Would expect Barthol or Tazi to be one of his last couple hitters.
Runner on third, nobody out. 3-2 count now to Barthol. Pitches in and fouled away. There goes Barthol again. This will now be the 8th pitch of this at-bat. And Best so far 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He's given up an infield single and a double down the line he has.
And man, App State's got to be happy with that start, getting everything they wanted and more out of it.
Payoff pitch, and that one is skied high out to left field. Ranging in and catching it. And here comes Alexander on the tag, but no, he elects to pull back, as that was an absolute missile of a throw from Luft after catching that fly ball out of Barthol.
There's a couple times early this season that our third base coach has sent runners on fly balls just like that, and they were thrown out by a lot. So I'm very happy he didn't send him here. That was a good, strong throw home. Would have been out by a mile.
And you have to think that that definitely went into the mind of both coaching staffs. As App State, I'm sure they looked in film at how aggressive Coastal was on the base pads. And Coastal, of course, looking at that arm of Riley Luft there out in left field. We'll now have a mound visit from the Appalachian State coaching staff. Jim Leggett, pitching coach, heading out there to talk to Liam Best. We mentioned that right-hand pitcher warming up in the bullpen. We'll see if now is his time to come in, as it looks like that's number 19 for the Mountaineers, Bradley Wilson, a 6'4" righty out of Lillington, North Carolina. He's a graduate out of East Carolina. It looks like they will now make a call to the bullpen, and Wilson will come in.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. He opened the bullpen door like he was coming in, but Leggett decides to leave Best in for at least another batter.
Not so fast, Bradley has a 4.44 ERA.
And we'll get a few more batters out of the 6'2 junior.
That's also the exact same ERA that Liam Best came into this one with.
Well, there you go. That now brings in Tazi, Dom Tazi today. Strikeout in the first inning to end that little rally that allowed it to no runs. See if he can drive in Alexander over there at third now. As that pitch misses inside, ball one.
And man, this kid's plate discipline has been so impressive.
1-0 pitch now to Tazi. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Walker doing a good job of getting that one in front of him, so Alexander can't come home. Tazi on the year 271. He's got 7 doubles. So he steps in now, 1-1 count to Tazi. Delivers in that one a bit high and outside there. Close call, but I think that was the right call. 2-1 now.
Tazi's got a big, long swing. I'd love to see him shorten it here.
Infield, of course, is in for the Mountaineers. Everyone playing up on the grass. It's a pitch to Tazi, and he lines one, but it is foul over their third base side. Just got a hold of that one just a little bit early. Got to straighten that one out, and that one would have been definitely an RBI.
Off speed there, keeping the hitter Tazi a little bit off balance. Just a little early, could not react fast enough.
Now a 2-2 count to Dom. Best delivers and fires. There's a ground ball over the head of the App State infield. Alexander comes in to score. And Tazi with a single for Coastal's first run of the ball game.
And that right there is exactly what you needed to do. Just chopped it. One hop, maybe a foot in front of the plate, and hops over the third baseman, the cannon's head.
And of course, when your infield's playing in like that, there's nothing you can do. They're playing normal position. That's a routine ground ball.
That runner's not even scoring.
When you have infield in like that, there's just nothing you can do, and that is an RBI single from Tazi. Now brings in Blogan Pato. Of course, he in the second inning struck out. His off-speed pitch is in there for strike one. Pato 5'10", 185 out of Haymarket, Virginia. Second pitch to him, inside, ball one. Hit Tazi at first, 1 out, 1-1 count, in a 1-1 ball game. A lot of ones here in the bottom half of this fourth inning.
Had 23 RBI last year in 47 games at Longwood.
Pitch in there, off-speed pitch misses a bit high. That'll be 2-1 now.
And in 33 games this year, albeit just 7 starts, already 18 RBI. This would be his 8th.
2-1 pitch to Pato. Inside, ball 3. And now for those of you at home who don't know, this is a hitter's count. Anytime you're up 2-0 or 3-1, it's called a hitter's count, and you want to try to find your pitch to swing at and hit. And if it's not your pitch, you're not going to want to swing at it. My pitch was always a fastball, inside, a bit high. That is what I was looking for, and if it wasn't that, I never swung. We'll see what Pato does now with this 3-1 count. Best fires, and that one is inside, strike 2, but it was an off-speed pitch. Now you got a full count.
I feel like for the most part, I was looking for a spinner away.
Spinner away, really?
Yeah. Just, I want to see the spin, wait on it, and drive it the other way.
Yeah. So you were an oppo hitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always a pull hitter.
I could not catch up to a fastball.
Payoff pitch there. Runner goes. And he is going to be gunned at second base. Maybe. Not sure what the call is right now.
What?
Or no, it looks like Pato walked. So by default, Tazi is safe at second. App State head coach Kermit Smith talking to home plate umpire.
And the umpires
Umpire's gonna have
will
a meeting.
confer.
I think the question is whether or not Pato checked swing and went around for strike 3, or if he stayed behind that plane for ball 4.
I didn't see a strikeout or an appeal call. I didn't see what they called at least.
I didn't either.
But the third base umpire was at second, really. Eddie Newsom called him out on the steal attempt.
Now, of course, when you have a full count like that and a runner at first, he's going to be going regardless. And it looks like that call will stand. So that's going to be a walk for Pato and an automatic advance to second base for Tazi.
And that brings up somewhat dangerous left-handed first baseman Colby Thorndike, and it looks like this will be the call to the bullpen for the App State Mountaineers. That tall righty will come in.
Bradley Wilson, graduate out of Lillington, North Carolina. East Carolina was his previous college, and now he's coming to spend his last college year of eligibility at App State. And he'll trot in to warm up here. And as we step aside from the game, so will we. You guys are watching a 1-1 ball game here on WCCUSN. We'll be right back. Wilson is done warming up, and we are done taking a break. Welcome back here to our broadcast of Coastal Baseball. First baseman Colby Thorndike steps in with the runners on first and second, 1 out for the Chanticleers. Now tell me about Liam Best's performance on the mound today.
Yeah, man, he was dominant. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts, 1 looking. That's all App State needed out of him. He was going to come in and not pitch a ton. They just needed to open the game on the right foot, and obviously they did. Now he does leave 2 runners on. Both of them would be credited to him if they came in.
His first pitch to Thorndike misses outside. Second pitch now, skied away. See if this gets out of play, and it looks like it will, third base side. And drops right in between some lucky fans over there at third base. And what can you tell me about their new pitcher, number 19, Bradley Wilson? Of course, graduate out of East Carolina.
Yeah, Wilson comes in 50 and 2/3 innings pitched, 40 strikeouts to 18 walks, allowing a 4.44 ERA and a 1.3 WHIP. It's allowing a 3.07 batting average with runners on. Enters this one with runners on first and second.
That one misses away and in. Or away and low, excuse me.
Tazi's
Can't
on
be
second.
away and in.
No. Find a way, though.
Yeah.
Tazi's on second. Peto's on first. 2-1 delivery now from Bradley Wilson. Good
Looks
last name, huh?
Tazi. Yeah, pretty good, right? And that one is a hard hit ball, but very foul out of Thorndike. Another one on the third base side. That brings count now to 2-2. Now I've noticed, unlike Best, Wilson kind of has a mix of pitches in his arsenal. Best kind of relied on that fastball and slider, and we've already seen 3 different pitches from Wilson in a 2-seam, a curveball, and a slider. So he looks back, Tazi at second. Infield still shifted. Lichtenberger over there on that second base side. Check swing there, but he did not go. Now you got a full count to Thorndike. And you know the runners will definitely be in motion here.
Wilson was a starter last year. Went 2-4. Delivered 3 quality starts, but had an ERA at 9.
Definitely been getting that low now as he sits at 4.44 like you mentioned. Payoff pitch. Fouled away. First base side. Now as a runner now, you want to be aggressive on the base pads as it's a full count, but also you don't want to get trapped in case there's a line out and get doubled up. So you saw both Tazi and Peto sticking to make sure that ball was on the ground before making a move.
This is his 6th year in college baseball. Spent 3 years at ECU. This is his 3rd year now at App State as a grad student.
Payoff pitch right up the middle and right past the outstretched glove of Lichtenberger. Coming around to score is Tazi, and he will reach no problem. An RBI single from Corby Thorndike makes this a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, and you could see the pitcher Wilson as he's running behind the plate, scream into his glove, probably a profanity, that ball got through the infield. And that will be the 2nd earned run credited to Liam Best.
And once again, another hit as a result of the shift that the Mountaineers put on. Of course, that first one was that chopper over the head of third baseman McCammon, and that one right through the gap that was left between McCammon and Lichtenberger.
I think there's been 4 or 5 hits now across the last 2 days where App State has been shifted so far to the right, and a left-handed hitting Coastal batter has poked it the other way.
Brings in center fielder Wells Sykes. Sykes in the 2nd inning struck out. He's going to look to continue this inning for the Chanticleers. Runners still on first and second. That one is fouled just barely down third base side.
He knew he just missed it. Give it a little hop right after he dropped the bat.
And that one almost definitely would have scored both runners as that was hard hit right down the line.
Yeah, at the very least, Thorndike's making it to third there.
0-2 count now early for Sykes. Hate to strike out and just twice in just as many plate appearances. First and second, 1 out, 0-2 count. Delivers, fires. That one's a base hit right between the 3-4 hole. Coming around to score is Pato. And to third base is Thorndike. Second base is Sykes. And he is safe. What a beautiful display of base running from Wells Sykes to drive in a run, advance the runner to third, and hustle over to second base. Well done, Wells Sykes.
That is great base running. It's good defense by the right fielder, Moquin, to realize that Thorndike was trying to take third there. The throw to third was not in time. The throw from third to second was not in time. And the Chants are going to look to put even more on the board with just 1 out and 2 runners in scoring position.
And that run that came around, of course, is the 3rd earned run from Liam Best, but that will be his last earned run for today.
Great mind.
So all in all, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts for Liam Best. Top of the order, Ty Dooley steps in. First pitch in there for a strike. Dooley reached by a walk in the first and struck out in the 3rd.
Man, Liam's got to be a little annoyed after that.
You'd have to be, right?
That is a weak swing on a curveball on the outside part of the plate. Got him off balance.
Dooley behind early 0-2 now. 2 runners in scoring position. Infield, of course, playing that shift again. As Dooley grounds one's first base side. Out of play, though.
Man, across the last 2 years, I've seen this so much. Coastal, they're a little bit of a slow starting team. If they're not going to score in the first, they're going to go a little bit without scoring. But when they do, they go on a run. They put up 3 here in the bottom half of the fourth to take a 3-1 lead.
Of course, 4 hits to go with those 3-1s. That one almost gets away from the catcher Walker, but he is able to snag that in his glove. And you talked about those high velocity pitches. They get up in the zone. They're a little bit hard to control if you're behind the plate.
But man, they're so hard to hit, and man, they are just forcing it to every pitcher they develop.
As down goes Dooley, swinging for his second strikeout of the game. Same pitch that froze him up before, got him down in the dirt, and Dooley is retired for the second out of the inning.
That was a great pitch, and it will bring up possibly the most professional hitter I've ever seen, Caden Bodine. Calm, quiet leader, Caden Bodine. Not really outspoken in the clubhouse, but goes in, leads by example, doesn't say much, lets his results do the talking. Talks to the first base coach a little bit there. And now with 2 outs, he's going to look to drive in one or both of the runners in scoring position now. The runners are Colby Thorndike at third and Wells Sykes at second. And he will be intentionally walked to put a runner on first. Load the bases now for Walker Mitchell.
Third baseman number 5, Walker.
Mitchell on the day, reached by an error in the first and flew out to center in the third. And Mitchell looking to come up big here for the Chanticleers. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3 runners across, 4 hits in the inning. And this would really open up the game for the Chanticleers if Mitchell can come through for them.
The second opportunity already in this game with the bases juiced.
First pitch misses low and outside. 1-0 count now to Walker Mitchell.
And App State's going to need to get out of this one to keep it from spiraling away from them. That's what happened yesterday.
Of course, they got out of that bases loaded, no out jam in the first. So they can get out of this bases loaded 2 out jam here in the fourth. 1-0 pitch to Mitchell. That one misses away again. Got a 2-0 count now. Bradley Wilson threw the same pitch back-to-back there, and both of them missed outside.
And you have to think now with the bases loaded, Walker Mitchell has a red light. No way he's swinging at this one, and I expect a fastball. Hold the plate. Walker's going to want it.
And he has it. Good frame job there by Walker.
And Walker really wanted it, the hitter, I guess.
You got a Walker as a hitter, first name, and you got a Walker behind the plate, last name. A 2-1 count now to Mitchell.
And a Walker on first base, intentionally.
Misses in, 3-1 count now to Mitchell. We talked about those hitter counts, but it's also important to note the red light, green light calls that the coaches give these hitters. In a situation like this, when you're ahead in the count, you don't want to be too aggressive and pop one out and leave 3 runners on the board. 3-1 count now. Pitch is in. And here's something that's pretty rare in baseball. You got a 3-2 count, 2 outs with the bases loaded. What you're going to see now here is all 3 runners in motion as you get a payoff pitch here to Walker Mitchell.
Got to put something in play here if you're Walker
Payoff
Mitchell.
pitch. Mitchell, ball 4 and away. And that will be a run coming in for the Chanticleers. And that one is Colby Thorndike coming around to score the 4th run of this inning.
And Sebastian Alexander coming around means that Coastal is now batted around. The 10th batter of this inning.
Alexander, of course, got this rally going with a double down the line. He came around to score later on the RBI single from Dom Tazi. First pitch to him is good for a strike. And if you count the intentional walk, that is Wilson's third walk already. Or second walk, excuse me. So that one is fouled away from Sebastian Alexander.
I don't love that intentional walks get counted as a walk on your stats because most of the time that call's coming from the dugout anyway.
It's not your idea to do it.
So I don't love that.
0-2 count, Alexander. And that one, strike 3, batter out. So a quick outing for a strikeout here for Sebastian Alexander. And that will retire the Chanticleers. But not before they put up 4 runs on 4 hits and no errors here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Coastal Carolina leads 4-1. We'll see what they do on defense here next in the top 5th of the inning. Tommy Walker steps into the box for the Mountaineers. Walker, the 8-hole hitter. So we bring up the top half of this 5th inning. Coastal, of course, went on to score 4 runs in that 4th inning. First pitch to Walker's ground ball over to Walker Mitchell. So he makes a routine play for out number 1.
Fluky sitting at 61 pitches right now. Has settled down a little bit through 4 1/3 now.
Has 7 strikeouts on the day. 6 of those swinging, 1 looking. That's the first time Walker's gotten out. As he has a double and the sole run for the Mountaineers. First pitch now to McCammon in there for a strike. McCammon lined out to Blake Barthol at second base in the 3rd inning.
It wouldn't be too detrimental if Coastal has to go to their bullpen relatively early today. Only 1 reliever used yesterday as that one's taken for ball 1.
They do have a lot of motion out there in the bullpen. About 5 guys standing up stretching right now.
And really this whole year, the last month, they've been getting so many quality starts out of their one of the nation's best starting rotations. That's taken for strike 2.
When you compare that to the likes of like a Texas, a Florida State, a Clemson team, Coastal starters have been right up there with them in quality starts and innings pitch out of their starters. Of course, you got a big series right now in Florida State in Clemson. You got the 3 versus the 5. There's a ground ball. Beautiful play by Barthol. Diving stop, and he makes the play over at first to retire McCammon. And Barthol's just been ruining McCammon's day as he caught that line out. Now a diving stop over there in the 3-4 hole.
Yeah, man, robbed him of 2 very hard-hit balls already. That's just a great play by Barthol at second. Man, he's flashed some leather over there. No matter if he's pretty streaky at the plate, he'll hit for some power and then nothing for a couple weeks. But, man, that glove is always there.
Now quickly on 3 pitches, he got 2 outs. And there is a fly ball out there to right field. Easy catch there made by Pato to retire the side. 4 pitches, 3 outs. What a beautiful and quick inning from Cameron Fluky. And that'll bring up the Coastal Carolina offense. Do it for them next inning. You got Blake Barthol. It just disappeared on me. Never mind. We'll see you guys next inning. You guys are watching baseball here on WCCUSN. Top half of the fifth inning, or bottom half, excuse me, the fifth inning brings in Blake Barthol. Blake on the day, a strikeout in the first and a flyout in the fourth. He made a beautiful stop in the top half of the fifth inning to retire McCammon.
See if he can keep the momentum going off his great play in the field.
A strike one there after a ball missed away first pitch. Fluky in the last half inning had 3 outs and 4 pitches. That's what you call efficient. He's now pitched 5 innings, only allowed 1 run. There's ball 2 now to Barthol, misses down.
And now going into that inning, I was expecting maybe he comes out after. But going into the 6th, only sitting at 65, 70 pitches, he's going to have a chance to go deep into this ball game.
And if he's playing like he does right now, still has that high velocity fastball after 5 innings pitched, you'd imagine that he'll stay in for a while. Now the shift is really on for the Mountaineers. All 4 infielders are on that right side. Pitch now to Barthol. Skies one, third base side out of play, 2-2.
We will see the 2-2 again. Barthol probably going to try to poke it. Oppo again.
He's yet to do that so far this game. He struck out and flew out, but he hasn't put one on the ground. As there's one right back up the middle. Drifting back is the center fielder, Figueroa, and he does make the play on the run there. That ball sat up in the air for a while. I thought it'd be an easy fly ball, but he had to go back pretty far to catch that.
Yeah, it wasn't hit necessarily hard, but it had so much backspin and the wind blowing a little bit to the center fielder. Figueroa's right. Took him a ways, probably 70 feet to go catch that ball in center.
He did end up all the way back there by that center field wall, right where the retired jersey of Gary Gilmore sits. And you see that wind blowing out there towards the left center field side. You get Gus there, and that brings in Dom Tazi. Tazi on the day struck out in the first inning, but he did have that RBI single to bring in Sebastian Alexander last inning in the fourth.
Says there's 15-mile-per-hour winds here. I fact-checked that with my eyes, and it's not really agreeing, but
well, we saw some of that wind on display there as that ball just lofted up in the air from Barthol. Tazi now faces a 2-0 count after that last pitch missed outside. Tazi just recorded his 33rd RBI of the year. That's in there for strike 1 now.
Decently full Springbrook Stadium here. 2 o'clock start time, and there's some more of that wind.
And you see those half-mast flags out there in center field blowing. 2-1 pitch, fouled back and away from Tazi. I'll bring up 2-2.
Man, Tazi just generates so much power with his swing. Loads onto that back foot, and then his not necessarily his load, but his swing itself is very Aaron Judge-esque. And man, Judge is hitting 450 right now. It's crazy.
Now, based on that last inning, what I was about to say, as there goes Tazi down on strikes. Based on that last inning, are you surprised that Bradley Wilson's still out here after giving up some walks and some hits?
Not necessarily. Looking at App State's bullpen stats right now, they have a lot of guys with pretty elevated ERAs. Now, Wilson right now is second on the team in ERA for qualified pitchers. That's the word I was thinking of. Qualified pitchers, a qualification is 1 inning pitched per game played. A lot of their bullpen's struggling right now, so I'm not really surprised they're riding the somewhat hot hand.
They don't have anyone up in the bullpen right now, but Wilson has retired his last 3 batters, 2 of those being on strikeouts. So now comes in Bloggin Pato. Pato faces a 2-0 count now. That's a foul ball, third base side, for strike number 1.
And on average, Bradley is pitching 2.5 innings per appearance. He's got 50 on the year in 20 games. So I'm not necessarily surprised that he's still in right now.
2-1 pitch misses away to Pato. Pato this game has a strikeout and a walk. Came around to score the 3rd out of 4 Chanticleer runs in the 4th inning. Batting 171 on the year. 3-1 pitch now. Skies 1 out of play. First base side for now a full count.
Wilson's a much different pitcher than the opener, Liam Best. Fastball sitting just about 87, 88 compared to the 96 out of Best. Coastal's going to have to wait back, seeing a different type of arm.
Payoff pitch now. Fouled away from Pato, third base side. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 22 at the plate. And here's the deal from Wilson. Strike 3, got him swinging. Down goes Pato for out number 3. So after an electric 4th inning, nothing going for the Chanticleers here in the 5th. That'll take us to the 6th inning in a 4-1 ball game controlled by Coastal Carolina. Don't go anywhere. You guys are watching baseball here on WCCU-SN. Welcome back here as we bring you 6th inning action in a 4-1 ball game here on WCCU-SN. That brings in Cameron Miller, the second hole hitter for App State. reached via a walk in the first, struck out in the third, and this is now his third plate appearance in the sixth. Fluky still on the mound. So that one's in there for a strike. Nice off-speed pitch, got just that outside corner, Cameron Miller.
And
Big day in sports today. Got 2 Game 7s. One Nuggets and Clippers in the NBA. Very excited for that one.
Go Clippers, baby.
Me, yeah.
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard's one of my favorite players, so
Yeah, we were
hoping
just
they
talking
win as
about
well.
that 2021 Raptors team.
Yeah.
Man.
Or
Kawhi.
2019.
2019
Yep,
Raptors.
2019, yeah.
2021 was the Warriors. Right?
The 22 was the Warriors. It was Raptors, Lakers,
Who was
Nug-
after the bubble? Oh, the
Bucks.
Nuggets?
Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks.
Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. And you also have a Game 7 in the NHL. Got the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. Don't really care much about hockey, but that's cool if you're a hockey
But
fan.
the Stars are good, man. I don't really pay attention, but I do know that.
I heard this morning, though, when I was watching SportsCenter, that they're missing 2 of their key guys.
Oh.
They've been missing them all series, but like the other guys have been stepping up, apparently. You also have F1 here in the United States, Miami. We had the sprint race a little bit ago. Quick delay after some rain, but it came out. Lando Norris won that. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Miller. That one is a little bit blooper. Second base. Barthol handles it no problem. Pop out for Cameron Miller for the first out.
Oh,
Right.
man, that breeze feels so good
It
right
does,
now.
it
It's
does.
finally coming this way. Oh,
But yeah, the sprint race was delayed about 25 minutes because of some rain this morning. But Lando Norris came around to finish it after a safety car finish. McLaren went P1 and P2 as their championship construction leaders right now. Got qualifying here in just about 10 minutes, it looks like. 4 o'clock, and the race tomorrow at 12:30. First pitch now to Lichtenberger, in there for a strike.
how long are those F1 races?
It depends. They vary in laps. The shortest one, I think, is like 45, 46 laps, so the longest one, it can get up to 63. So, and the circuits are different in length as well. So, 1-0 pitch now to Lichtenberger. Ground ball over to Barthol, keeping him busy. Routine ground ball for out number 2.
Yeah, Barthol has been pretty busy over at second. Couple ground outs, that line out, and a great diving stop to rob Tanner McCammon of a hit.
So with that F1, you got the the longer circuits. So tracks that are naturally longer have more turns. Those tend to have the least amount of laps, but the shorter circuits, they have the most, obviously. But
And
all the
what's
races
this
end up
Miami
being
one?
Miami one. I'm not sure. The sprint race was 19 races. Woo! And there's a liner over there to the grass. Hopefully everyone is okay. And it looks like everyone is. Everyone got out of away in time. But yeah, the sprint race is supposed to be 19 races, dropped down to 18 because of that delayed start. So last year, I believe the race was 53 laps, but they changed it up a little bit, but it'll be right around 53 tomorrow. So. It's 1-0 pitch to Tyler Figueroa. That one's in there for strike 2. Figueroa on the day 0 for 2. Ground out to second and a strikeout in the fourth.
Something I've loved seeing out of Fluky today is last year you could kind of tell if he was on or not if you watch his first inning. Kind of struggled the first couple innings today, but man, as he settled down, and that's a swinging strikeout, 95 miles an hour. Pitch number 71 of the day gets him swinging.
There you go. 3 up, 3 down for Fluky. And the Chanticleers, and Fluky is fired up. You can tell after that strikeout right there, he is ready. And I definitely think that he's going to stay in for the 7th inning now. But we
Yeah,
will
he has
see.
to.
Going into the bottom half of the 6th inning, Coastal leads 4-1. Stay with us here on WCCUSN. Welcome back, everyone. We got a 4-1 ball game, bottom of the sixth inning, bringing in Colby Thorndike. And we're talking about the F1 Miami race a little bit before, and I looked it up. It's going to be 57 laps this year in a 3.36 mile circuit. His first pitch to Thorndike is fouled off, 0-1. So the cool thing about the Miami race, it's actually a temporary circuit, as a lot of the other ones, they're kind of more of a permanent one that just like get touched up for the race. And this one is right around Hard Rock Stadium where the Dolphins play in Miami. It's kind of the centerpiece of that circuit. So there's another one fouled off, hard over to the turf side as well.
Does it go through the city? Or
It does not. It's just around the stadium pretty much, yeah. It goes, the interstate, the freeway is right by the circuit, but the race itself kind of just laps around Hard Rock Stadium. So. But a lot of those circuits, they do go through cities. It's really cool. The last one was in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. It was a night race, and that one went right through Jeddah, so it's cool. 0-2 pitch now to Thorndike. That one misses high and outside.
And prior to the Super Bowl that was held at Hard Rock Stadium, they did a lot of renovation around it.
They sure did.
And
That
I
pitch
guess
misses away.
temporary F1 track was part of it.
Exactly. And they actually just signed an extension, so the Miami Grand Prix will be a part of the calendar until 2041 now.
Oh, that's a while.
It is. 2-2 pitch now, Thorndike. Ground ball, second base side. Tough play, but it is able to be made, and barely beats him out is Zamora there.
It's good play there by the second baseman. Getting to that baseball. Throwing out the not so speedy Thorndike. He's got a little bit of movement to him, but
That was a close play there, but Zamora fielded that glove side and transferred it over real quick to get the out over there at first for Miller. That brings in Wells Sykes. He, of course, had a single that he stretched into a double in the fourth inning with a great piece of base running. 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch to him. It's in there for a strike. Little off-speed pitch there from Wilson.
I don't think he liked that call, the breaking ball in the outside half.
Got no one warming up in either bullpen. Got a few guys sitting out there in each. That's strike 2 there as he gets him on another off-speed pitch. Swinging this time.
Sykes strikeout and then that double. Looking to get something started. Just the 1 inning with offensive production.
There's a ground ball over there to the shortstop. Shortstop Lichtenberg fields it and makes the throws. He's falling away for out number 2.
And that's a great play by Lichtenberger and a great play by McCammon to not get in his way. That's the shortstop's ball all day. Good communication and then a pretty athletic ranging throw. Get the speedy Sykes out at first in time.
That brings up top of the lineup Ty Dooley in for his 4th plate appearance as a walk and 2 strikeouts so far in this game. It's been a quick inning here for the Chanticleers. 2 groundouts, 2 outs. As Dooley steps in, first pitch in there for a strike. And you've seen that pitch kind of hovering about 80, 81 miles per hour. And Wilson's done a great job commanding it. 0-1 pitch now to Dooley. Fouled away, hard side off the netting right above third base dugout.
Yeah, no free passes since coming in for Wilson. Oh, that's a lie.
He did have that walk to Pato.
Yeah. And I guess the intentional walk too.
That ball misses low. 1-2 count now to Ty.
I always get confused in my book when they bat around because I don't know where it starts.
Yeah. 1-2, 2 out. Wilson delivers, and Dooley with another ground ball. It's going to be a little bit of a tough play, but not for Bradley Wilson. Fields it and applies the tag to Ty Dooley for the 3rd out of this inning. It's nothing going for the Chants in the bottom half of the 6th. We'll go now to the Mountaineer offense, top half of the 7th. Stick around with us. You guys are watching Coastal Carolina Baseball on WCCU SN. Welcome back here to our broadcast of Coastal Carolina baseball. Top half of the 7th inning we have here. Coastal leads 4-1. Coastal 4 runs on 5 hits. App State 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error. Looks like they took away an error for the Chanticleers. They had one on a Walker Mitchell ground ball.
I was right.
And now on the scoreboard, it appears they have none.
I love that they took that away. I really didn't think that it was right to assume an out on that play.
So now it appears 3 hits and no errors, as compared to 2 hits and 1 error. As there's going to be a gapper hit from Zurab, and that one will get down, and he will be running into second with a stand-up lead-off double. Second double now for the Mountaineers. That was a good piece of hitting from Zurab right there. Found the gap out in left center field.
And Zareb does have each of the last 2 hits.
Had a single in the 4th to pair along with that double just now. And that brings in Dylan Moquin. Moquin on the day, kind of been silent, 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking.
Last couple innings have flown by, it feels like.
They have. You made a comment that this game's going by a little slow. It seems like the pitchers heard you.
Yeah.
They've been getting everyone out pretty quick. This first pitch to Moquin misses outside for ball 1. Moquin, the lefty out of Coral Springs, Florida. Stoneman Douglas High School, is a redshirt freshman. That ball is popped up. Shortstop side. Dooley ranging out. But Alexander calls him off, as he definitely did. Definitely should have called him off. That was left field ball right there. And Sebastian makes a good play for out number 1.
Good job communicating there, making sure the out gets made by the right guy. I really don't think Dooley makes that play.
When you saw him ranging back, holding his hand up, trying to block out that sun. Alexander just had the better angle over there. That brings in 7-0 hitter Riley Luft. Ground out in the 2nd, strikeout in the 4th.
Looking to bring in the 2nd run of this ball game for the Mountaineers as he takes strike 1 on the curveball. Fluky's sitting at 77 pitches now. A righty and a lefty, double barrel action in the Coastal bullpen.
He has 8 strikeouts in 6 1/3 inning. Strike, and that goes back to second base, but he is safe there.
I like that aggressive back pick there by Caden Bodine. He loves it. He goes to it once or twice a game.
He does. Just making sure Zareb over there at second staying honest after that swing and a miss from Riley Luft. Now faces an 0-2 count. 1 out, runner on second, Luft does. Here's the pitch from Fluky. Swinging, but a foul ball to the backstop as Luft stays live.
That lefty warming up in the Coastal bullpen is Dominic Carbone. 17 appearances, just a 2.2 ERA, and 4 saves. This would be a save situation if he comes in the 9th with the score the way it is.
Here's 0-2 pitch from Fluky. That one misses outside. Bodine tried to frame it.
96.
Nothing going there. It's crazy that he's still pumping 96 7 innings into this ball game.
On pitch 77 of his night.
Coastal also has a righty, Scott Duran, warming up. It's a freshman, 6'4", 220. 0-2 pitch. It's over there, first base side. Nice play by Thorndike. Throws it over to Fluky for out number 2. But that does advance Zareb over to third now.
Yeah, and that's a good play by Colby Thorndike at first. Had some weird spin on it, had to kind of play it off the hop. And a nice calm toss to Fluky covering first for the out.
That brings in the catcher, Tommy Walker. Walker, of course, had a double in the 3rd. Came around to score the lone run for the Mountaineers. Got a runner on 3rd, 2 outs. That's what he's facing now. His first pitch misses inside for ball 1.
Fluky just the 1 walk today, and man, what did we say coming into this one? He's got to get ahead in the count. No free passes, and he's done pretty good at that so far today.
1-0 pitch. In there, 4-1. Now, so Scott Duran has sat down now. They just got him up and tossing. So now the lone pitcher out there in that bullpen is the lefty that Ricky mentioned. Even count now, 1-1. As Fluky stretches, aims, and fires. Strike number 2 on that fastball. Now 1-2 count. 2 outs, runner on third, and you got this crowd clapping now. We'll see if Fluky can strike him out for this 3rd out of the inning. Here's the pitch. Strike number 3, got him looking. And there you are, 97 from Cam Fluky to sit down Tommy Walker and end this top half of the 7th. His 9th strikeout of the game, and he is pumping. What an outing here from Cameron Fluky. And we'll be right back with the bottom half of the 7th inning. Stay with us for this finish. Bottom half of the 7th inning now, and the story of the game has been Cameron Fluky, starting pitcher for Coastal. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run,
Man,
and 9 strikeouts.
These Coastal starting pitching outings, they're insane.
It's been amazing.
Everyone I've called so far this year has been at the worst positive, and at the best, a gem like today.
It's been an amazing performance from Fluky. And if that was his last inning, he's put on a performance here for these home fans.
Turn it over to the pretty efficient Coastal bullpen.
It's Caden Bodine is who's in the box right now. 1 for 2. Single in the first, flew out in the third, and got intentionally walked in the fourth. Faces 2-1 count now. That's check swing. He did not go around, though. It'll now be 3-1 after that high fastball from Wilson.
Looking to get on and hopefully come around, score a insurance run.
Here's pitch to Bodine. See, Skies went out to left field. Going to be quick play. Hard play, but out of play.
I think without the wind, that one gets out of here.
100%. It looked like it was going to be a fly ball, but that wind, it's just been blowing out towards left center field side. That one blew it out about 10 feet to the left of that foul pole out there.
Down the lines, 320 here at Springsbrook Stadium. It didn't look like he got all of that one, but I thought the backspin he put on it would have carried it out, and it did. But that side spin he put on it, and then the wind pushed it foul.
Definitely a little bit late on that ball as it went opposite field. There's a ball right up the middle, but the shift is on. And Lichtenberger will make that play for the first out of the inning due to the shift.
Brings up Walker Mitchell. Walked last at bat, pretty apropos.
0 for 2 otherwise with a fly out and an error. Mitchell on the year still batting .295. See if he can open things up here for the Chants in the 7th inning. First pitch to him. Swung on and skied out to right field. See if this one gets out of play. And it will, just on the other side of that fence, past the outstretched glove of Moquin. And Mitchell will have another chance here.
The lefty Carbone is now sat down in the Coastal bullpen, and there's just a righty standing not even warming. We could see Fluky come back into this one.
And that appears what's going to happen right now.
I would love that. I
Fluky's
was just
been
thinking, man, I
electric
want to
so
see him
far.
throw another 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah. That last strikeout, he got up to 97, his fastest pitch of the day. So here's the 0-1 pitch from Wilson. Fouled back again by Mitchell. Now down early, 0-2 is Walker. Oh, 2, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That one is a ground ball over to third base. McCammon handles it no problem and fires it over to first to retire Mitchell for the second out of the inning. So 2 ground outs, 2 outs here for the Chanticleers. That now brings in Sebastian Alexander.
McCammon looked a little, I don't know, uncomfortable with that ground ball.
I noticed he had a little bit of trouble with it, yeah.
And then,
It's almost like he couldn't get the transfer, right?
yeah, like, also just reacting to it, he looked a little funky. I don't know, just. In my best approximation, it looked like someone who doesn't play third base fielding a ball.
It could be. Alexander today, double in the 4th, fielder's choice in the 1st, and a strikeout in his second time up in the 4th. Here he is now down to a 1-1 count. 2 up, 2 down for the Chanticleers. Let's see if Alexander cannot make it 3 up, 3 down. Wilson, after coming in to that kind of jam in the 4th inning and allowing a few hits and a few runs, not necessarily earned, he's settled down past 2, 3 innings now. Only faced 4 batters in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 2 now in the 7th with 2 outs.
McCammon is a shortstop by trade, fun fact.
And now he's at third, so what you said is right. Called strike inside there from Alexander. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Wilson. That's in there, but foul tip as Alexander stays alive.
Catcher Walker couldn't corral that one for the strikeout. We'll see a 2-2 now.
Sebastian fighting to stay alive and keep this inning alive. Coastal only leads by 3 now. Wilson shakes off the call, gets one he likes. Readies, aims, fires. And that one is down low for ball 3.
Has induced 5 straight groundouts. Wilson has.
Yeah, he has. Payoff pitch. That one is grounded up the middle. Tough play. See if he can get it over to first, and he cannot in time, and that goes sails past. But right off the wall there. Back to first baseman Miller. Lichtenberger with a tough play. Was running, bounced off his glove, and Alexander was just too fast for that, and that'll be ruled a hit now for Sebastian for his second one of the day.
That was almost a tremendous play by Lichtenberger. Diving to his left, ball just pops out. If he corrals it cleanly, I think he gets that throw to first in time. But since he
100%.
had to field it again, he kind of rushed it and went up the first base line. Lucky it just bounced off the fence.
Coastal's in business now with 2 outs. That brings up Blake Barthol. Barthol 0 for 3 on the day, a strikeout and 2 flyouts. See if he can make it 1 for 4. That first pitch misses low for ball 1. Barthol, you mentioned he's kind of been a spotty hitter this year. Been really good on the defensive side, but the hitting's been where that's lacking. He has a .253 average, and it's been very spotty.
When he is hitting, he's hitting for power, though.
Runner goes, and Alexander is going to get there. No problem. That is a stolen base for Sebastian Alexander.
Two 2-0 now, 2 outs. Now a runner in scoring position for Blake Barthol.
That was a good jump over there from Alexander. You could tell he was going to be safe as soon as he left that base.
Not a chance for the catcher Walker.
Barthol now faces 2-0 count. Wilson fires, looks back the runner. He delivers. That's a foul ball over there. App State dugout, 2-1 now to Barthol. Barthol on the year, 8 home runs, 2 doubles, has 41 hits, 25 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases. Just 2-1 pitch now from Wilson. Really giving Alexander the eye over there. Looking him back for about 10 seconds now. You can feel that tension over there between base runner and pitcher. Here's the pitch. That one, base hit. Other on the left side. In comes Alexander. Here comes the throw, and it is not in time. Barthol goes to second, and Coastal has scored another run on the double from Blake Barthol. 5-1, Coastal leads now.
That's a great piece of hitting. Drives that ball. It's what I expected him to do every at-bat up until now. Drive it right through that gap between the third baseman and shortstop. The throw from the left fielder left comes into home. Not almost in time, just a little offline. Throw from Walker not in time at second.
And that's the second time we've seen something like that happen.
Yep.
First it was, the first one.
It was
Sykes.
Yep.
Yeah, Wells Sykes had that first one. He stretched a single into a double after they tried to get Bladen Pago over there at third, but did not. And that's the second time now. Coastal with a little bit of a 2-out rally. One across the board, one on second. Dom Tazi up to the bat as he skies one high out to center field. But the center fielder, Figueroa, barely has to move in to make that play for the third out. But not before Coastal gets around 1 run on 2 hits here in the bottom half of the 7th. Coastal now leads 5-1. Stick with us for these last 2 innings. Top half of the 8th inning, Coastal leads 5-1, and we're getting yet another inning from Cameron Flukie.
The
7
star
innings
of the
pitched,
show.
1 earned run, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts Flukie has.
Let's get to double digits, huh, Cam? With already 72 strikeouts on the season, 66 and 2/3 innings pitched. That's a little over a 9 per.
Tanner McCammon is the batter. He fouls away that first ball. Fastball 93 coming in at just Flukie's pitch there.
I love the jerseys and the colors that App State has. You don't really see black and yellow used a ton.
So there's a ground ball fielded cleanly by Dooley. Dooley crossbody throw. Too many bounces, though, as McCammon beats that one out. But a great play. Ty Dooley knocked that one down and tried to make the play over at first, but that will be a single for Tanner McCammon.
That was an athletic play. Just couldn't get enough behind that throw to get it to first in time. I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about App State's colors.
Oh, App
I
State's,
agree.
I love their jerseys. Their
Yeah.
jerseys they wore yesterday, black with the white and yellow lettering. Specifically their football uniforms
Their
with
football
the
uniforms
with the
are very
Yosef logo on the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Those are sweet.
Mm-hmm. Here comes out Bodine to talk to Cam Flukie. Doesn't look like this is the end of his day, as it's just
No.
Bodine coming out there.
Little surprising that. Oh, here comes the pitching coach Matt Williams.
We'll see if this does it for Cam Flukie. And if it does, what a tremendous outing from him. It's like they're just talking things over right now.
Have to think this is probably just to get the arm a little bit more time in that bullpen.
So here comes the rest of the infield in. Dooley and Barthol now joining the mound visit.
He has been up for the most of the last 2 innings. Not necessarily throwing, but now he is throwing off the mound. And they will go to the bullpen. Cam Flukie is out of this game. 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts. The lone walk, the lone run allowed, to a standing ovation of Coastal Carolina faithful.
What a tremendous performance from Flukie. Really holding this App State defense to minimal damage. Flukie with a great performance. And here comes Scott Duran. We saw him warming up a little bit, but now he is sitting down. Scott Duran, the freshman out of Pennsylvania, went to William Penn Charter School for the 6'4", 220 righty. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, he is pitching decent this year. A 4.2 ERA in 15 innings pitched. He does have 2 saves, so a pretty decent high leverage reliever. He has 24 strikeouts in those 15 innings pitched, allowing just a 167 batting average against.
And as Doran warms up, we're going to step aside here. Got a 5-1 ball game, runner on first, top half of the 8th inning. We'll be right back after Duran has finished warming up. Stay with us. Scott Duran is all warmed up as he prepares to face his first batter, leadoff hitter Joseph Zamora. And his first pitch is in there for a strike. App State has 1 on right now after the single from McCammon. Zamora on the day today. 1 for 3, then RBI single, fly out, and a strikeout. 0-1 pitch now, grounded up the middle.
Fouled off
That one is going to be a foul ball, yeah.
Scott Doran, the 6'4" freshman, as you mentioned, out of William Penn Charter School, led that William Penn Charter School to a state championship his sophomore year and graduated as school's strikeout leader with 142. Played basketball all 4 years and played center.
Was standing at 6'4". There's a hit by pitch, actually, from Doran. And that'll get 2 aboard now for the Mountaineers after a single and a hit by pitch.
And looking to bring this one within 1 for App State will be the team's first baseman, Cameron Miller.
Cam Miller on the day, a walk, strikeout and a pop out. So 0 for 2 day so far for Cameron Miller. So he's looking over to that dugout, getting some signs from head coach Kermit Smith.
Big opportunity now for the Mountaineers. Possibly their biggest opportunity to bring in some runs all game.
Got 2 on, nobody out. First pitch to Miller. First pitch strike. Miller has a very big load, gets that lead foot up pretty high. That left foot almost comes up to his knee, does Miller. 0-1 offering. In there for strike number 2. And Duran is quickly ahead. 0-2 to Cam Miller.
And man, coming from Fluky, seeing another pretty similar guy, just a little bit less velocity, as this one hits him too.
Wow, 2 back-to-back hit by pitches from Scott Doran.
And
now the bases are juiced with nobody out. And their third hole hitter, Tyler Lichtenberger, coming up.
that will bring up the tying run on that one. As Kevin Schnall goes to ask Furlong a question, home plate umpire. Bases juice, no outs. The exact situation that Liam Best worked out of in the first inning. We'll see if Scott Doran can do the same.
Lichtenberger hitting .357 on the year, 32 RBIs. Definitely the Mountaineers' leading hitter when it comes to average. Here's the first pitch to him. Down low for ball one. This is a big opportunity for Appalachian State, as they've been trailing ever since Coastal put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 4th inning.
If you're into looking at averages, he's 0 for 3, which means he's due. As this one almost hits him too.
He's thrown 3 balls that have been inside to these batters. Lichtenberger gets out of the way of that one, as that one would have been painful, as it would have hit right on the knee. Good job getting away with that one. 2-0 count now to Lichtenberger. Here's the delivery and a ground ball. It's going to be a tough play to be made. Goes over to first for the out, but a run does score. Sacrifice ground out from Tyler Lichtenberger makes this game 5-2. As that was Tanner McCammon coming around to score.
It's a good play to charge that ball by Blake Barthol. Smooth transition gets you out at first. No other chance. And a good display of small ball out of the Mountaineers. Just their 3rd run scored across the last 17 innings of baseball.
That brings in cleanup hitter Tyler Figueroa. First pitch to him, misses down low. Figueroa on the day, 2 strikeouts and a ground out, 0 for 3. So not much production coming out of the 3 and 4 hole hitters until that RBI from Tyler Lichtenberger.
Yeah, they were an 0 for 6 combined heading into that at bat.
So that pitch is in there for a strike. So now you got runners on 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, and a 1-1 count. So it's Scott Doran's facing.
So I know a sac fly doesn't count as an at bat, but does a sac ground out?
I don't believe it does. Anything sacrifice, bunt, fly out, or ground out, it should just count as an empty at bat. The RBI, of course, does count.
Right.
The at bat won't. Here's a 2-1 offering from Doran. So that one's grounded third base side, but out of play. Now 2-2 count. Strikeout would be huge here for Doran.
And he works himself back into a, not necessarily favorable, but a better pitcher's count.
More manageable. So here's the 2-2 offering from Doran. Inside corner. Called a ball, and the fans do not like that one.
And neither does the center fielder, Wells Sykes. Drops down to a squat, puts his head into his glove.
He's, of course, seeing that from the best position out there.
Well, you'd think the home plate umpire has the best position, but
Yeah.
I guess not.
And there's ball 4 right there. Taker base Tyler Figueroa. Bases are now juiced once again with 1 out.
And
And Jonathan Zareb comes into the bat now.
And that potentially missed. We don't have a camera angle or anything. But that potentially missed call could prove costly, as Scott Doran leaves this game With the bases juiced and 1 out.
And that run that came around to score, that will be Cameron Fluke's responsibility. So, end of the day, Cameron Fluke, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. Nonetheless, a great day out of the starter. And we'll see who Coastal brings in now.
Should be another tall righty. Is that Ryan Lynch?
It would appear to be so, I believe.
Looks like Ryan Lynch, the senior out of Snohomish, Washington. Another 6'4" righty. Yes.
Yeah, and that one will be Ryan Lynch. And we'll give you a little bit of information about Ryan right after this break. We'll let him warm up at a 5-2 ball game, top half of the 8th here on WCCU-SN. Lynch is all warmed up, prepared to face his first batter, which should be number 9, designated hitter, Jonathan Zareb. Zareb on the day, reached by an error, flew out, and also had a double in the 7th inning. What can you tell us about Lynch, Ricky?
Yeah, Ryan Lynch comes into this one through 23 2/3 innings pitched this year, a .76 ERA. Man, he has been effective as strike 1 there to the DH Zareb. 28 strikeouts to 7 walks, allowing just a .220 batting average against. Pitched just 3 innings last year to an 18.9 ERA.
And his first 2 pitches are strikes. App State, of course, right now in a bases-loaded situation. It's a tall task for a pitcher to come into, but he's doing well so far. 3rd pitch, misses outside, just on that corner right there. 1-2 count now as Zareb faces.
I like the thought process there, going to the slider after 2 straight fastballs. Just couldn't get it out over the plate enough.
Here's a 1-2 pitch from Lynch. Outside again. Zareb thought about it.
Same pitch, 2 miles an hour faster. But I see a lot of relief pitchers that specialize in like 1 or 2 pitches. They'll vary how fast they can throw that second pitch.
Right down the middle, strike 3. Got him looking, did Ryan Lynch for the 2nd out of the inning.
And man, that's a nice fastball. Bottom of the zone, just freezes him. Expecting another breaking ball, and it just stays right where it is.
Now Dylan Moquin, steps into the box. Bases loaded, 2 outs now for the Mountaineers. Moquin on the day, 2 strikeouts and a pop out there to left field. First pitch to him is a gapper. Going to be a tough play for Pato to make, but he makes it on the run for out number 3. And Coastal gets out of this jam with minimal damage. 1 run comes across the plate for App State, but they leave 3 runners stranded. That run does make it a 5-2 ball game, however, and we'll see this Coastal offense for potentially the last time in the bottom half of this 8th inning. Stick with us. You guys are watching Coastal Carolina baseball here on WCCU-SN. Welcome back here to bottom half of the 8th inning. Coastal holds on to a 5-2 lead. Coastal 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors. App State 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. That brings in the right fielder, Bloggin Pato. First pitch from Wilson in there for a strike. Pato on the day, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Of course, on that walk, he came around to score.
And that was pitch 76 out of Bradley Wilson. That's a swing and a miss. 0-2 now. This will be his 4th inning of work, and man, what an outing out of him. Saving the rest of this App State bullpen for Game 3 tomorrow.
Pato's quickly behind 0-2 in this count. There's a ripper down the third base line, past the outstretched glove of McCammon. That one will be an extra base for Pato. And there go all the Coastal bullpen guys trying to get that ball, messed with left fielder Luft, and that is a stand-up double from Bloggin Pato to get this offense going in the bottom half of the 8th.
I love that Coastal bullpen. They just run to the, it's like if you walk by a fence and there's dogs outside.
They start
just
barking
swarm,
at you,
yeah.
right? Yeah. You got to imagine they were chatting up Luft out there in left field.
Barking at him, if you will.
Yeah. That brings up first baseman Colby Thorndike. Colby on the day, 1 for 3 with a single, RBI single that was, in the 4th.
One of them just crawled on the ground like a canine.
Thorndike shows bunt but pulls away as that pitch is outside for ball 1. Runner on second, nobody out, bottom of the 8th. Squares away to bunt again and lays down a beautiful one right back to the pitcher. He almost beats that one out, but that is going to be a sacrifice bunt for Colby Thorndike to advance Bloggin Pato over to third base here with 1 out.
Perfect bunt there. Not much else to say, just pretty to see. Pitching coach for App State will come to the mound. It looks like this will be the end of Bradley Wilson's day.
We'll see what they're discussing out there.
There is one up in the pen, but I don't know if he was warm or not.
Looks like Wilson might be staying in for now. Is that right? He is now getting warmed up in that App State bullpen, just in case they need him here. That will be the case. Wilson will stay in this game. That's going to bring up Will Sykes. Sykes on the day, 1 for 3 with a double in the 4th.
Looking to extend this currently 3-run lead, 5-2. 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for App State. 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Chants. The infield is in for the Mountaineers.
Here's the first pitch to Sykes. That will be a strike out of Wilson.
Fastball taken at the bottom of the zone, called a strike.
Oh, 1 pitch now to Will Sykes. That's a ground ball. Jumping play is made by Lichtenberger, but that will score a run. A sacrifice ground out from Will Sykes makes this a 6-2 ball game here in the 8th.
Yeah, and Lichtenberger just can't do anything. He's in the right spot. Just that ball was hit way too high off the chop to get the out at home.
And you know,
Pato can run.
if that ball wasn't a chopper, Lichtenberger may have had a play at the plate, but since it was a chopper, he had to jump up and get it.
It did look like Pato was running on contact, so he would have had a play.
Yeah.
And was taken for strike 1.
Ty Dooley now up to bat, top of the order for the Chanticleers. Dooley having kind of a disappointing day so far, 0 for 3 with a walk as he fouls that one back for strike 2. Bases are clear, and here comes another shift out of the Mountaineer defense. that right heavy shift, moving Lichtenberger over past second and McCammon over to shortstop, like we've seen all day today for these top two batters in Dooley and Bodine.
It's turned into a beautiful day at the park. Now with some breeze.
There's a chopper back up to shortstop Lichtenberger, playing over at second to retire the side. So 1 hit, 2 sacrifices for Coastal in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and we will rely on this defense to get Coastal this W. Coastal leads 6-2. Stick with us for the conclusion of this game here on WCCUSN. Welcome back here. Got top half of the 9th inning. Coastal looking to close this one out. Got a 4-run cushion for Ryan Lynch to work with. Riley Luft comes in to bat here. 7-0 hitter, 0 for 3 on the day.
And a 9th inning defensive replacement at first base. Ty Barango now playing for Colby Thorndike, as that one misses high for ball 1. Luft, Walker, and McCammon up for the Mountaineers.
7, 8, 9 hitters. That's a swing and a miss there from Luft. Coastal's done a great job defensively. Only 2 earned runs, 1 and 5 hits today, utilizing 3 pitchers. Of course, Camden Fluky, Scott Doran, and now Ryan Lynch looking to get the save and close out this game. So that one's fouled back for strike 2.
Ahead of another hitter. That's how he got out of the last inning relatively unscathed.
So here's the 1-2 offering from Lynch. Outside for ball 2. Two offering from Lynch now. Ground ball. Tough play over there by Dooley. Dooley makes it. And a beautiful pick by Barango over there at first for the first out of this inning. Hard hit ground ball over to Dooley. Fielded it good. And Barango got it on the hop for out number 1.
And immediately a test for the defensive replacement at first, picking that ball.
Stretched out for that one. Got it on the quick hop. It's a good play over there by Barango.
Played it like an infielder, which he is. Spent time at shortstop last year. Gets a sporadic appearance in the field.
Barango, the red shirt junior out of San Mateo, California. Went to College of San Mateo before coming over to Coastal now. 5'11", 160 is Barango. Sammy Walker now has a 1-1 count after that pitch misses down low. Walker on the day a double, ground out, and a strikeout. So 1-for-3 outing for the catcher for the Mountaineers. So here's the 1-1 offering. I went in there for a strike. Nice off-speed pitch on that outside corner from Lynch.
And
you got a
now he
1-2
can go
count.
really anywhere.
Mhm.
I'd like to see fastball in, but I wouldn't mind seeing a breaking ball away again.
That's what we see, but that one a bit too outside. Back to an even 2-2 count now.
Should change the eye level at least. Maybe go back to an elevated fastball here.
So here's the 2-2 offering from Lynch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the off-speed. Pitch for a strikeout. And now App State is down to their last out of this ball game.
And I really liked the pitch sequencing there. He goes curveball for strike 2, slider away, starts it away. You know it's a ball. Then you're kind of thinking, okay, fastball up. He starts the curveball up. It looks like the fastball. Just drops right down under the swing.
That was a beautiful set of pitches from Lynch there. And now the Appalachian State Mountaineers' last hope is Tanner McCammon. McCammon singled in the last inning, eventually came around to score. That is his lone hit today to go along with a line out and a ground out. First pitch to him, missed outside for ball 1. Here's Lynch's offering. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. Made play is by Dooley. Fires it over to first. Third out, 9th inning, ball game. Coastal Carolina takes the series here on this Saturday afternoon with a 6-2 victory. About a 3-hour game here. Coastal ends the game with 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors. And App State with 2 runs, 5 hits on 1 error.
And man, the star of today's show, starting pitcher, the sophomore Cam Fluke, 7 innings, 9 Ks. That second run did come around after he left. So 2 earned, just the 1 walk. Lowers his ERA to a 3.38 on the season. Scott Dorn and Ryan Lynch close it out. For Coastals, I want to say that's 5 or 6 straight Sun Belt Conference Series wins.
That sounds about right.
And they're going to look for their 4th straight Sun Belt Conference Series sweep tomorrow.
Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock here at Springsbrook Stadium. For Ricky, I'm Grant. It's been a pleasure broadcasting for you guys. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as we look to see Coastal sweep the Mountaineers. Take care for now.